Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Hat Trick Lounge. This is the football segment known as Sent Off, where we talk all about the action on and off the pitch. Let's start off with we touched about this a bit more on the other episode, but we're gonna touch about it more now as well. Let's talk about Barcelona and the absolute mess they're in.
Well, it's quite easy to see what's happening here. The fallout from Bartomeu has left them in deep issues. So the billions of debt is the one billion in debt that they're in has caused them to obviously not be able to sign Messi. COVID has reduced their salary cap, and essentially they're in turmoil. Koeman's not the right fit. Their squad is aging.
Fun.
Well, I think that it's not just the fact that the squad is aging, but I think it may also be down to the fact that they just haven't got that good of a squad anymore. Like, you look at the front
Bro,
three, and you look at the
PK
front
is the best
three.
striker on earth right now.
You know what? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, isn't he? Yeah, he's like top scorer now there, right?
No, it's Depay, isn't it?
Depay,
Well, no, I mean like in terms of like in the squad.
Like all time for Barcelona.
Yeah.
Oh,
all
okay,
time.
yeah.
But I think that the downfall really started from the moment Barcelona came. Like gradually every season they got progressively
I
worse.
don't know, like their transfer windows were just not like sustainable, and especially this one, just terrible.
They
Yeah, I mean,
the money they so-called got from Neymar, they overspent that by a significant amount. They spent way too much on Coutinho.
And Dembele.
Uh,
I think it's also partially like obviously the players' fault as well because none of their like Neymar replacements did well. First they got Dembele, he flopped. Then they got Coutinho, he flopped. Then they got Griezmann, and he was okay as well. So they never really replaced Neymar.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And now they're looking to maybe rekindle that with players like Memphis Depay and like Martin Braithwaite. They've got Luke De Jong in. I'm not sure whether that's like an emergency signing or whether they genuinely want him as a first team starter, but it doesn't seem like the most convincing of signing.
So they loaned out Griezmann and then brought in De Jong to like balance out the squad from that departure. Like I just don't see the point in like letting Griezmann leave in the first place. And then, no matter
Exactly.
how bad he's flopped. Like if we look back to like letting Suarez off, was it? I think it might have been on a contract termination,
And then letting Aguero in.
and then getting
Yeah.
Aguero. Yeah, so like he's too old. Kicks him out. He goes on to win La Liga with Atletico, and then to replace him gets Aguero.
the
It's
only,
not just the,
the only
age of Aguero.
Yeah, he now wants to leave as well.
Because like initially he wasn't even being able to be registered as a La Liga player because of the like salary rules, and then now he's injured. So like his whole Barca career is kind of in the mud right now.
He doesn't even want a Barca career, man. He just wants to leave.
the whole purpose of Aguero being signed was just to please Messi, so Messi resigns. But then obviously the salary cap.
Yeah, and then Messi ended up leaving.
So yeah, very very deep shit.
I mean, we can also talk about how yeah, we might have to like
Oh yeah, we'll edit.
censor that part out. But
we
like,
we can do it like a
um,
beep sort of thing. Yeah.
yeah, but it's also about the manager and his fat ego, right? Ronald Koeman thinks he's the man for the job, but like, if we look at the results so far this season, it's not turning out well. Like Barcelona still have a decent squad, but they aren't getting the like maybe in relativity to how they used to be, they're not the strongest team. However, their squad depth is still all right. Like, they've got decent players, and they should be doing better than they are.
I think actually they don't have a title contending squad. They're probably a top four squad, yeah, but not.
Yeah, but there's a difference between title contending and drawing to like mid-table teams, which they've been doing for the last few weeks.
Yeah, but
I
really,
think it's just a matter of time the manager gets sacked.
Yeah, they've
Yeah,
had multiple backdoor
But
meetings.
that being said, do you think with this squad any manager could win the title with this squad? I don't.
I mean, there could definitely be managers who could do a better job, but yeah, they're definitely not winning the title or coming close to that.
Yeah.
I honestly think some of the flops could have been better managed if they didn't have Valverde in there, because like the Valverde, he played Coutinho out of position. Coutinho lost confidence. Then he went to Bayern, gained confidence again, and was playing well. But then he came back, and then he was again in a shit show.
Again, we're gonna probably have to blur that out, Sparsh, but it's okay. We
No,
move.
but like like looking at the lineup from the last game, right? At right back and left back, they have Oscar Mingueza and Serginho Dest starting at fullback. Like this is Barcelona, right? They had Dani Alves at one point, like Jordi Alba. They had like some of the world's best players, and now they've got these two. It's like I don't know. They're just their transfer windows have not been sustainable whatsoever, and it's really come back to bite them.
Yeah.
I think Dest was really a signing for the future, but I think he already has so much expectation on him. He's not really performed as well as you would have wanted to.
In my opinion, Barcelona's best signing this summer was
There's only one answer.
yes, Yusuf Demir.
Oh jeez. I think again Demir one for the future, but in terms of immediate impact and saving, the
Depay.
mess that Barcelona is, Depay probably I would think is one of the more effective transfers of their window. I mean, compared to Luke De Jong or all the other terrible people they signed, and like looking at departures as well, like Emerson Royale, for example, is one of the most promising fullbacks in La Liga, and like selling him off to Spurs
I
now.
think we need to put emphasis on in La Liga because it's safe
Yeah,
to say
yeah,
his
yeah.
first two Premier League games. I mean, like questionable
okay.
performances.
I mean, look at his choice.
I would have to agree. I wouldn't. It's not entirely his fault because all of Spurs are terrible. But yeah, in La Liga, one of the most promising fullbacks. He had, his last 2 seasons with Betis were great, and they went off and sold him. And questionable decision because now they have like Dest starting at right back.
Well,
and I
there
don't-
wasn't actually
don't think he's
Betis
ready.
that sold them because like Barca signed them and then just sold in the same window.
Yeah,
It's
there's-
not something you see often, and I don't think that was fair on him, especially as he's not doing as well as everyone would have hoped at Spurs. I mean, I'm personally okay with it, but like,
He was against
no,
going to Tottenham.
I totally get what you mean, but like, and then I think Moriba, another departure, is like one of the most promising.
Where did he
Barcelona
go?
youngsters
Leipzig?
last season.
He's
He went to
from
Leipzig,
Leipzig.
yeah, and that was also another sad departure. Although in fairness, he was refusing to sign a new contract.
He
but-
just went for the money. He just went for the money.
Yeah. But I mean, it does mean that Barcelona starting 11 is quite,
weak is the word, Gabriel.
yeah.
And
Weak is an understatement. I
And-
mean,
I mean, no,
If this Barcelona side was in the Premier League, what do you think they would finish?
ooh.
top 6 maybe.
Yes,
like at a push.
Actually, I'm not so sure. I think maybe like 7th or like.
Yeah, it'd be like
that's-
7 to 10th.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I said top 6 at a push.
I think they would be contenders with Arsenal, maybe.
Yeah.
they're not that bad.
What for
Contenders
relegation?
would be doing better than them.
No, Gabriel, not from like relegation. It's for best of the rest. Best out of the top 10.
Sure. Okay.
Just to quickly top this off, one of the big rumors has been, obviously, when you're gonna sack an Everton manager, you gotta, follow it up with another Everton manager. Is Roberto Martinez to Barcelona? That's apparently what's Barcelona's first choice.
Again, not really a convincing.
Yeah,
manager.
I don't think he's what you need here.
They're just gonna. They're just gonna continue the loop. Like getting a decent manager in, not doing well, sacking.
Yeah.
him, then I think they really would have wanted to get Pep Guardiola in. I think they should have pushed for him, but obviously his heart lies in Manchester. He wants the oil money, understandable. So yeah, Pep's staying at Man City, obviously. So can't really. I think he would have definitely been.
I mean, we don't know how Martinez will do because in his international team, he was given like world-class players and like he didn't perform as well as everyone was expecting at the Euros. Admittedly, they got knocked out to Italy, Belgium, who was being managed by Martinez. But like, Belgium arguably have like one of the strongest squads at the Euros, so I'd have thought that they'd do much better.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Not Belgium, the number 1 ranked side in the world, right?
Yeah. Thomas,
Exactly.
what are your thoughts on that?
I would have liked to see them perform better at the Euros, but it's definitely proof of concept that Roberto Martinez is the man for the job.
And,
Interesting.
But what?
Shifting
wait,
the conversation to another
wait,
manager.
just quickly.
Someone who's out of the job at the moment, Antonio Conte. You reckon he has a chance at probably getting that position.
Mate, I just want him to come to Arsenal. I want Arsenal to get out, please, for the love of Jesus, man.
And I think I can speak for Gabriel, Neal, and Thomas. We want Arteta in.
Yeah, 100%.
Oof, yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with that one. I think trust the process, bro. Trust the process.
Let's
Oh.
go.
He's a good manager in the long run, I believe.
Yeah, things
Yeah,
will come
yeah.
good. He's young, you know. He's still
The thing
finding his
is-
bearings.
The reason why Conte may not actually be a good fit for Arsenal is because Conte needs world-class players immediately to perform, and that's what he's going to demand from the Arsenal board. But like,
Yeah.
we've invested so heavily in youth that we haven't got the facilities to support Conte's style of managing.
I don't think you understand. Aubameyang's the best striker in the whole universe, bro. I don't think-
Oh yeah. Sorry, you're right. Yeah, we do have Aubameyang, so that's my mistake.
I think I can live in peace, knowing that Arteta is better than Lampard. So yeah.
I mean, okay, you have a point there.
But back to Barcelona. Like, how do you fix a problem like Barcelona? What do you need to do in the next transfer window? How are you smart
First
with it?
thing is they need to go to Qatar and they need
They
to
need
pray
to go,
that an owner, but new owner buys them.
or they can just go to Mumbai and get bought over by the Bambani family, not the Ambani family, the Bambani
Okay.
family.
Okay. In all seriousness, first of all, tie down contracts for Ansu Fati and Pedri.
Yep, that's
Ooh.
if they leave, then
And of course, Yusuf Demir, don't forget.
Yeah, they have to sign him on a permanent for 40 million first.
Oh, I just realized Youssef Demir is wearing the number 11 at Barcelona,
from
and
Neymar,
that's
from
from-
Neymar
And
to
no,
Fati.
from-
Fati's wearing number 10.
jeez.
Who's wearing number 10?
Fati.
Yeah.
You went from
yeah.
Messi and Neymar, 10 and 11, to Ansu Fati and Youssef Demir.
Hey, don't knock
Like-
Ansu Fati.
Okay, no, Ansu Fati is legendary. Don't get me wrong, but like Messi at his age was on another
Yeah.
level.
You can't
Like-
give. I think they should have kept the number 10 out of respect. Like,
They could
Yeah.
Retired it.
I think they
Like
would,
how-
but they couldn't based on the Liga rules.
Oh yeah. No, Thomas is right. There was a rule that they had to occupy the number, which is why it was offered to a number of players actually, but they all rejected it.
yeah, I think
Fati wearing the number 10, let's go, boys.
Brathwaite should have been wearing the number 10. shirt.
So next transfer window, January or the summer after, what do Barcelona need to do? What sort of players should they be looking at?
They
Where
need
do
to
they need to
enter
strengthen?
administration and let Wayne Rooney buy the whole club.
Look, I think in January it's going to be a pretty quiet window. Not just because for Barcelona can't afford anyone. Just generally, January you don't see that many big signings. Next summer
Are
is a
you
big-
mad? Bro, hey, like Man City still want to go for Kane again. Like that may still be on, and there's a number of clubs that are chasing Haaland.
yeah, but
and-
January,
No,
in
but
January, is
but
typically
they'll
a more
get
quieter
Haaland next
window.
summer.
I mean, we don't know because there have been rumors that are saying that some of these transfers are going to happen in the January window, and obviously Arsenal, we have some unfinished business from the summer window. Still have plenty of signings still to make. You know.
But you know, if we're looking at Barcelona, in my opinion, they can't afford to spend any sort of money. They should be looking at free transfers, which is what they tried to do this summer when Wijnaldum, you know, sort of U-turned on Koeman, which is quite funny, and all the other people they tried to sign. But looking at like contract expiries for 2022, let's go through the list here. We got,
Mbappe.
That's not
Mbappe, that's not
Mbappe
happening
to Tottenham,
at all.
Mbappe to Tottenham. We
Yeah.
have to consider that.
Oh yeah. True.
It's
I mean, you can
you
bring up
can't
Haaland.
disprove it.
You can bring
But
up
like
Haaland.
more realistically, if we're looking, I don't know, I can see maybe sort of Dybala's contract is ending, Insigne, Pellegrini. Who
I
else
think
is
Dybala-
here?
I think Dybala's already having talks with Juventus for renewing.
He is,
Yeah.
yeah. But another player is getting a lot of talk on a free transfer. Frank Kessie, impressed at AC Milan. I can sort of see that happening. Although I
Yeah,
can,
but
you
again,
know,
all of these players, they're good, but they're not like instant impact gonna make Barcelona where they should be again.
They
They're not,
need
they're
to-
not the
wait.
Ronaldo to menu that you need.
Yeah.
Speaking
Okay,
of
in
Barcelona,
their
speaking
last
of
La Liga
Barcelona-
game, they started a guy called Gavi. Ever heard of him?
No.
Yes.
Exactly. He's a 17-year-old.
Yes,
and
I've
he's
heard of
in
him.
the
I heard of him,
squad.
yeah.
Thomas.
I think
like,
400 million release clause.
Oh
Something
yeah, I've
like
heard of
that,
him too.
yeah.
Yeah.
But the Barcelona release clauses are just a bunch of, you know, like.
Yeah, but then again,
not
Benzema
real.
had like a 1 billion release clause, didn't he, or something
Yeah.
like that?
Wait, sorry, Gavi has a 400 million release clause.
I think so.
Bro, you could
Wow.
get Gavi on FM20
okay.
for like
Emerson
3
Royale
million.
had like 125 million release clause. Like Yerry Mina even had like a 220 million release clause. You know where they both went off them, significantly worse teams. Like
Damn, bro. Gavi's worth more than Tottenham, bro.
I mean, I mentioned Yerry Mina as well, but like I don't know, it's just a ploy to like convince players to sign for Barcelona. Like, hey, this is how much we value you. We're gonna like set up an insanely high release clause, but they're just gonna sell him for something shorter anyway.
No, the reason they do that is if they ever become as good as their assets like Neymar, they don't want a club like PSG being like, okay, let's activate the release clause.
Yeah, that's.
That's the only reason. They're not.
Well, yeah, and like sure that is a valid reason, but for the most part, it's just it really holds no bearing.
And also they have to include a release clause according to La Liga, right? So.
Of course, yeah. Oh, actually, wait, I actually didn't know that. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's why every.
Every player has to have a release clause in the Liga.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you look I think that's how Arsenal even got Thomas Partey.
Thomas Partey, yeah.
How are you always linking this back to Arsenal somehow? Like,
No, because that was
It's a
a
natural
prime
link,
example
bro.
of how the.
It's in example. It's valid, bro. Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
sure. Yeah.
Okay, speaking on Barcelona, according to Mundo Deportivo, Xavi is the Barcelona president's almost confident Xavi's their next manager.
Ooh, honestly, like he's been making moves in Qatar.
Again, that's Qatar, bro. Even Sparsh Romani could be making moves in Qatar.
Bro, but like, okay, like,
Bro, I'm player manager of the best team in Qatar.
okay, the player quality, okay, is definitely a lot lower compared to the other leagues, okay. But in terms of like management, if you're an insane manager in Qatar, you're probably a good manager in a slightly higher league, because he's like.
No.
Except Xavi brings a lot of other stuff. Like players will have respect for him.
Where was
Compared to
Lampard manager before Chelsea?
Derby County.
He was pretty good, I would say, for Derby County. Was he good at Chelsea?
He was.
Oh, bro, Karan, you have to remember how well Lampard did in his first season. Man got top 4 without Hazard and a squad full of youth. Like, that is pretty impressive.
And
also they
start of next season he was actually doing quite well, quite a few clean sheets, and then it sort of
and then
it fell off a cliff
The
from there.
Kappa effect, we like to call it.
Oof,
The Kappa
yeah.
effect.
You had Eduard Mendy.
No, but again, like I think it's
Benjamin Mendy.
I think getting ex-legends as managers, especially when they're new managers, is always risky because it kind of hit or miss.
It's
And I
either
don't think-
Pep or it's Arteta.
But so the thing with Koeman, yes, he's he was a former Barcelona player, but like he does not have the respect of the players. Like if you get a man like Xavi, who's like a proper legend, he's more like, I don't know, he's more recent in memory. Like a lot of the players would have had played with him already. I think he'll be able to get the dressing room in order quicker than Koeman can turn it around.
But that's like Arteta at Arsenal. Like, we all know that Arteta's just as good as Xavi, if not better, right? So we all know that they'd probably have the same like respect from some of the players in the dressing room, but obviously we can see that Arteta hasn't done that good of a job, right?
The Premier League's
like,
the hardest league in the world,
player-wise, Arteta and Xavi obviously on the same level, so I don't know how that logic applies.
For me, Xavi wouldn't be the. I don't think they should get Xavi. I think they need a proper world-class manager to turn things around.
Who would you suggest?
No, Karan, they also need someone who they can trust and give some time to.
Who would you suggest?
I would say Conte. I don't think
Conte, look, Conte wins the league with Chelsea first year, and Conte wins the league with Inter Milan also first year in that league?
Second, I think.
Second year. I'm not gonna say he's gonna win the league immediately, but he'll definitely do 100 times more.
But
than
he
Koeman ever
needs
could.
that quality squad with good depth and stuff. Like you're coming to Barcelona.
But if you look at Inter Milan versus Juventus,
Inter had a good squad.
Inter had a great
they weren't at the
squad.
level of Juventus. Nowhere near it.
I would actually disagree.
No, I
I
would
feel like
disagree.
their squad was definitely on par with the Juventus
Yeah.
squad, especially because the Juventus squad, like half their starting 11 was above 30 at that, like last season. So
Yeah,
Really?
I mean,
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
and
I mean,
the
Antonio Conte
reason-
is a shout, but I don't know if he fits like the Barcelona.
I've been
mold.
hearing Pirlo as well to Barcelona, which just
Yeah, I
it's
know.
gonna be disaster. That's gonna be disaster.
I don't actually think Pirlo did too badly at Juventus last season. I think their squad is very overrated. I think because again, like half their starting 11 was over 30. Yes, they do have a lot of good
Yeah.
young players like Chiesa, De Ligt, for example, but
It was
like
just Ronaldo
coming
carrying.
in,
It was
very first season in management. Yes, Ronaldo was carrying Karan. You're right, but he did eventually end with top four, and like the performances were good considering it's his first year in management. And you know, Juventus didn't really give him a lot of time, so
Okay,
I wouldn't write him off straight away.
look at Allegri right now. He's struggling without Ronaldo as well. Right? He's struggling without Ronaldo. So I think it's just Ronaldo carrying Pirlo, and Pirlo wasn't doing much in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because like Allegri, who's like a proper Juve legend.
He's an established manager as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you look at players like Thierry Henry, who have been like one of the best players in the world, and then their managerial career just goes to absolutely nothing. Like, look what he
Yeah.
did to Monaco, bro.
Maradona. Like, bro, what a
Man had
great
to turn
manager,
up with
man.
Argentina.
But what a great manager. Honestly, manager of the century.
Gary
think-
Neville,
I
another
mean,
terrible manager.
What an idea by Maradona to give Coke to players, right? Like just such great motivation.
So the managerial position is a very difficult one to, you know, solve. But looking at the positions on the field, where do you think Barcelona should target in terms of improving the squad?
Center
I
back,
think-
get a new DM to replace Busquets. Get
Yeah.
a probably a left back, probably a striker, probably a right winger.
You've just named like the entire pitch.
Yeah, that's what they do need. They need a centre back. They need a central defensive midfielder. They need a striker. They need a right mid. They potentially even need a creative midfielder as well.
Let's
and
start
a
from
long-term
okay.
heir to Ter Stegen.
Let's run through some names. Center back was one of the first ones you mentioned. Who should they look for?
You can't go PK because he's busy. He's busy scoring goals. He's busy
That's
striking.
true. He's up the pitch. You know, we need someone to hold down the fort.
There's this solid talent from Germany. I think his name is Mustafi or something. He's the
Bro,
one.
Mustafi's
Oh my
actually
god!
the
Stop
goat.
linking it to Arsenal.
He's not even an
No,
Arsenal
listen,
player.
Bro, he has no links to Arsenal anymore. The thing
Yeah,
about
bro.
Mustafi is he's won what more World Cups than Messi. Okay, he's literally the goat. Please do
Oh
not
my
disrespect.
gosh. Oh, okay. Any serious answers then?
No.
really.
What do you think this is, man?
No, because I can give you centre backs who are good, who Barcelona can sign, but they don't have the money to sign.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Ah,
That's the thing.
okay. Okay, then what if we're looking at sort of young players to sort of like start the rebuild process, you know?
Well, they
Might
should
spend-
they should trust Eric Garcia. They just put some trust in him, some faith.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Eric Garcia is actually a pretty good signing.
Yeah, well, on a free, so that's good.
I think Araujo is also impressed at centre back as well. So that's good as well. Here's a shout. Romagnoli's contract ends at the end of the season at centre back,
Yeah.
and he's been great for AC Milan.
Except, why would he leave AC Milan? He's captain, and also Barcelona is a shit situation compared to.
Well, he hasn't renewed his contract. I'm just like, I don't know. I guess I'm being a bit optimistic with the picks. You know, an even better option, James Tarkowski. I had no idea his contract's ending as well.
He's gonna stay in the Premier League.
Yeah, I mean he's a legend.
Arsenal should go get him.
Okay, so centre back
Nice shot, man.
unsolvable. Why don't we
Okay,
move
Arsenal.
why don't we move into midfield, right? The young players, free agents, like what can solve Barcelona's midfield problems, especially with an aging Busquets.
Once again, I said it once. I'll say it again. PK cannot
PK.
be in the midfield. He's busy scoring goals. He's busy using that left or
It's
right foot
everywhere.
magic.
Uh,
He's the next Suarez. You heard it now.
Okay.
You heard it here.
Gabriel, if we use your logic, they could go for Franck Kessié.
Frank Cassé, yeah, I think that'd be a good signing for them.
Or
I think
Brozovic, actually.
Pedri and De Jong in midfield, great. I think they just need that like third midfielder, a bit more creativity to them, to sort of like finish that off. Although Pedri is very creative as well, maybe.
Actually, I'm looking at the 2022 like people who will be out of contract. Wait, Andreas Christensen will be one of them. Oh, no.
Surely he'll like sign a new contract.
Yeah,
with
sure.
Chelsea.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
But,
he's been getting more game time as well.
Sula, if they want to take a punt on him.
Mhm.
Boubacar Kamara. That's actually
Ooh, that would be a great
yeah,
signing.
exactly.
Yeah,
Great
that'd be
signing.
amazing signing. I think they could go for someone like Ginter or who
They could
else
even
is
go for
here?
Zakaria.
That's true, yeah. I think like obviously it'd be difficult to convince these people to even go there in the first place, but you know.
Actually, people like Zakaria who are in Borussia Mönchengladbach or Ginter also I'm not gonna try to say the name again. And even Boubacar Kamara, who's in Marseille, I think they'd easily go to Barcelona over their
Yeah,
current clubs.
gotta shoot. Barcelona just has to shoot their shot now. Just try. And yeah, it's gonna be a very difficult and long rebuild process, and it's quite a shame to see one of the world's greatest entertainers reach such a new low.
Let's move on to a hot topic, sponsored by the one and only Arsene Wenger, the genius of Arsenal. Biannual World Cup. So basically, what this is FIFA for the money, and Arsene Wenger, one of the main pushers for it, wants to have the World Cup every 2 years rather than every four. I am honestly, it sounds interesting, but I'm strongly against it. But no, I think we should have it. But once Messi retires, we can leave it. That's my story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
I
he
think,
like
I feel
did
like
Wenger? Oh,
I
sorry.
feel like if we were to have it every 2 years, it would sort of lose its novelty, and also it would kind of interfere with the Euros
No,
and like the Copa America and those things.
I think his idea is that those get eliminated, right? Like the right, Thomas?
Okay,
I would hope
so
not. I would hope not because like the continental competitions are actually interesting as well.
so
I mean, I would
what
say the
did
Copa
Wenger?
America less than Euros.
I mean, they could change it to that. How do I say? Like Euros are, and the Copa America is 1 year, and then the next year's World Cup, kind of that.
No,
But then that gives you one big international competition every season,
and that's
which
not
I
good
don't
for
know.
players.
No,
For
yeah,
players,
it's
it's
gonna
not
take
good.
away the novelty. Did
Especially-
Wenger mention like any like real reason in proposing this, like that he was so passionate about it?
He said
It's
footballers are more proud to play for their team than their country, and if you have a World Cup more often, I think that they would want to play for their country more.
Well, I don't know. I've got to say I'm against it as well.
And injury-prone players already who like get injured very often, and if they play for their national teams, their legs will be made out of literal glass, man.
I
They
think
won't
like I
survive
mean the
those.
international breaks, you know, like apart from like the major competitions are terribly boring. Like I think like how they've set it up so that like the excitement builds up over these like
Yeah.
huge
4 years, yeah.
huge sort of events is a much like stabler structure to follow than having it every 2 years. You're sort of taking away the excitement and feelings from it.
Okay, so then here's a counter position. How frequently is the Euros again? Every 4 years as well, right?
Yeah,
Or every two?
Yeah.
Four.
Every four? What if there's some sort of mini World Cup? I guess we already have Copa America and Euros, but I can't think of anything that would replace it. But something to go maybe mini World Cup. I don't know. FIFA gets more money. The fans are happy. Messi can at least try to win a World
What
Cup.
do you mean? What do you mean by mini World Cup? You're gonna have to
First of all,
give us a bit more detail.
Just like top three countries from maybe Europe and South America, or maybe top five.
First of all,
Okay.
how prestigious would that tournament really be?
I don't know. I feel like it would end up something like the Toulon tournament. It's like
At some point, I guess people like it would just be kind of considered a preseason tournament for international.
yeah,
It'll
I don't
end up
think-
like the Club World Cup.
it doesn't have the same like gravitas.
Yeah,
as-
exactly.
Because I think I'm definitely in agreement for the expansion of I think it's America where they're gonna have the 48 teams, right, in the Mexico, Canada, America World Cup.
Yeah.
I like the idea of more teams. I don't like the idea of a smaller World Cup.
Yeah,
Okay,
I like
even
Yeah,
if
actually,
the smaller one is
yeah.
more frequent.
Wait, how many football stadiums do they have in Canada?
No, I think like the system we have right now, every 4 years for the Euros, the Copa America, the Asian Cup that nobody cares about, and obviously the World Cup. That's like the perfect system right now, just to get excited about those major events over long periods of time.
Yeah, like I get what you're saying, Thomas. Like a mini World Cup with the best of the best, right? But technically, the World Cup is the best of the best. Like, the best
Yeah.
48 countries in the world playing.
I mean, like you get to, I don't know, like you get to watch your like qualifying groups, which is sort of like a
Yeah.
mini continental tournament. But
And sometimes like the best stories in World Cups and Euros is like the small team that does well, like the small
Oh, yeah.
country. And
I'm
you'll
still,
miss that.
yeah, I'm still going for North Macedonia next World Cup and Euros. It's coming. Watch.
Well, we don't even know if North Macedonia will qualify for the World Cup.
Oh, no, they will. They will. No, don't worry. Don't worry. They will.
Okay, mate, trust the process.
I bet my kidneys. They will.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Okay, so we
Well,
have
but-
this on video. So
But we're all in like collective agreement. Biannual World Cup, not really.
yeah, Neil, what's your
I mean,
point of view?
now that we've come to that agreement, I think that we should talk about obviously probably one of the most relevant leagues at the moment, the Premier League. So obviously there are games going on every week. So let's just talk about what we think for the next game week and obviously some of the bigger fixtures. So obviously one of the biggest fixtures, probably a massive 6-pointer at the top of the table if this were to happen later in the season. Chelsea versus Man City, a big fixture nonetheless. What do we think?
This is a huge one. Now, I think over the past few years, I think Man City have struggled at Stamford Bridge. I think
Yeah.
Chelsea. I think
Like-
this. I can see this game ending in a draw.
I think
Keep
it'll
in
be
mind-
1-0. Chelsea
Sorry,
win.
just keep in mind Mount and some other lad cannot play.
Why
Mount
can't
and Pulisic
Why
will
can't
not
Mount
be
play?
playing.
Okay, Pulisic, I'm like, I'm not.
I don't think
so
he would have
worried.
played anyways, but
But Mount, yeah, that's definitely a loss.
So what's gonna happen?
although,
It's gonna be.
if
Timo
we're looking
Werner.
at the midfield, I think they're more than covered in terms of backups, especially with Kante back in the side. So,
Yeah,
I
true.
wouldn't be too like if I were a Chelsea fan, I wouldn't be too bothered by that. And
Right.
I mean, Tuchel's got Guardiola, like Tuchel's bested Guardiola a couple times now since joining Chelsea. So,
I mean, every time. I think he's unbeaten against Guardiola.
has it been every time? Oh, okay. So,
But he's not unbeaten against Don Mikhail.
wow.
Yeah. So I think,
But focusing on Man City, Chelsea, like, what about predictions? What are we thinking?
Okay, so
I think it's 2-2. I can see this. Going.
2-0 up the Chelsea. Let's go.
I don't think this is going to be a very high scoring game. Because Chelsea love to play they are very good defensively. So I don't think we'll see City scoring as much like how they used to score 5-0 on some other teams. So I feel like even in that sense, Chelsea may struggle against Man City to score goals. So we might see a low scoring game like a 1-0 or a 1-1. If it's 1-0, I would probably say 1-0 Chelsea. I'd back Chelsea to win it.
I think this game is also important, not only for Chelsea and Man City, but also for Man United and Liverpool. Because if this game was to end in a draw, that would give a perfect chance to Liverpool, who are Brentford, to go top.
I just
Even if Chelsea were to lose, then Liverpool could go top.
I just really don't want to see Man City win the league again. I mean, it's just
Yeah,
it's the
it's
same
getting
old
boring at
story.
this
It's
point.
getting boring. You know, I don't like. I'm a Tottenham fan. I don't care. Up the Chels, up the Blues.
Don't
Come on,
worry,
you
get your-
Blues.
Don't worry, this
Like
year,
just anyone but Man City at this point.
this year it's Arsenal's year. Trust the process. Arteta's going to get the league.
Yeah, let's go. The title charge is on.
That being said, it's the North London Derby weekend, guys. It's Arsenal
Let's
Tottenham
go.
at the Emirates.
Ooh.
Two shittiest teams in the world at the moment playing each other. What do you think?
So obviously this is another 6-pointer, considering the fact that Arsenal can actually go above Spurs if we win by more than 2 goals, which is surprising considering how badly we started the season.
But see, that's why you gotta trust the process, bro. Like,
Exactly.
see what's happened.
But I'm not
That
sure
means-
about it.
That being said, Tottenham do have Son back, although Kane's form is gonna be a bit. they're gonna
Kane
have-
is you can just
Kane-
so tell that Kane does not want to play for Spurs anymore. I can't
That
really
being
blame
said,
him as well.
Arsenal have no competent goal scorer either. Aubameyang and Lacazette are both rubbish. So you look at this game and you think, I think Arsenal can win this game. But that's just me being biased, right?
I would
I
not be
think
surprised if
for
Arsenal
both
won this game.
teams it's winnable.
It's
So
win-
it could be like a really high scoring game. If it is, we're in for a treat because both defenses are a bit shaky at the moment. But that being said, both of our offensive sides are also not that strong.
I'd
So
say,
it could be a bit of a scrap, or it could be
yeah.
a really good game of football.
I'm gonna let my biases shine through here. I'm gonna go for 2-1 Spurs, but they're gonna play really shit, and like Arsenal probably deserve the result.
But
I'm
that
going to
being
go
said,
with 2-0
it's,
Arsenal.
it's important to keep in mind Tottenham have struggled like really badly at the Emirates the last 4 or 5 years. They've done horribly at the Emirates. Now I know like in a derby the form goes out of the window, but like that is a place they've struggled with. So just for that reason itself, I think Arsenal's gonna win 3-0.
Ooh,
3-0, okay.
daring
But
prediction.
the thing is, we only used to win like those margins when we had like Van Persie and them, man. But nowadays,
No, Arsenal won like what 4-2 it was. I think the last two of them have been 2-2 though.
well, no, yeah, the season before was 2-2, but then
2-1,
like last season we won at
2-1.
Emirates and then we lost at their stadium.
No,
Yeah,
but
we
to be
lost-
honest, I think the result doesn't matter because they're both gonna do like really bad this season. They're, like both bottom tier.
Irrelevant.
Ooh.
Kind of
Bro,
relevant.
yeah, no one wants to see two mid-table teams get a draw against each other. It's like
Yeah.
exactly. Uh,
Everyone's gonna be watching the Chelsea Man City game.
that is true. Well,
Actually,
They don't happen at the same time, Mr. Engineer.
I know, but like everyone's gonna be concentrated on that one, you know, on the
Yeah, I'm
predictions
gonna
and
be
stuff.
watching that one.
Even after the Chelsea Man City's game, everyone's
we were just
gonna
gonna
be
watch the
hooked on
highlights.
it.
We
Yeah.
were just gonna watch the highlights.
yeah,
and talk about it.
Yeah.
honestly, yeah, probably.
To be fair, like in terms of quality of football, it's not going to be a very good game, in my opinion.
Proceeds to be the best game of the season.
In my,
Yeah.
I
Karan,
mean,
it's
I
either going to
hope
be a
so.
cracker or it's going to be a fucking.
We also have a
Horrendous game.
really good game. It's Brentford Liverpool. Obviously Liverpool. This is the toughest opponent of the season.
I think yes.
I think like, because Brentford obviously beating the best team in the world, Arsenal.
Yeah. Going against being Liverpool, being Jurgen Klopp, going against the title contenders, that's scary.
That being said, guys, Brentford, what a start to the Premier League. 8 points, first season, 2 wins, 2 draws, 1 loss. And I'm not going to say it's happening, but if they win against Liverpool, they could potentially look at be going in a top 6.
Ooh.
Top 6 is a bit of a stretch because you usually have like that one team that does like overperforms out of promotion, right? And that team usually finishes like in the top 10 but not in the top 6. Like we saw Wolves finish 7th and then we had Leeds finish 9th. So and then Sheffield finished like 7th,
Eighth.
I think.
No,
8th.
no.
Oh yes, something along them lines, but yeah, usually there is one team that overperforms, and they usually fall between 7th and 10th. So we'll see.
I think Brentford's going to be the team that does well from the new.
But what about Brighton? They've had an incredible start to the season. Like
Yeah.
they are up in like 3rd or 4th or something like that. Yeah, that is incredible.
There's no point in Man
As
City.
much as I hate like Neal Mopay and those guys, I have to say like fair play because they've done really well so far.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
What do you guys think about Leeds, by the way? Because like 3 of their good players are injured now.
Yeah, and Leeds are now what 17th. They've not won
Exactly.
they've not won a
Yeah.
single game yet. Look, I think I didn't say it on the podcast, but I did say Leeds could be that team that gets relegated. I'm just saying. You look at Sheffield.
Oh.
I think they'll do better in the second half of the season.
Yeah.
You look at Sheffield, right? So Sheffield, I'll just see. It was 1920. Sheffield finished 9th with 54 points. You could have asked anybody. Nobody would have said that they're going to be relegated. The season after they finished, where did they finish? They finished rock bottom with 23 points. That's what
Wow.
31 point difference.
That's like
So I-
something Arsenal would do. This
Yeah.
season.
Yeah. I think Leeds could surprise everyone by getting relegated this season.
So like
What are your thoughts on
a black,
Arsenal, by the
a
way?
black horse for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where do you think Arsenal will place?
It
I can't
depends.
see us getting top 6 to be honest.
It depends, right? At the moment, I think they'll finish between 8th and 10th. Yeah, but like top 6 is kind of tough unless Arsenal have like a good run like throughout.
Unless we sack Arteta.
Yeah.
I think Arteta's like vital for you guys.
Trust the process, bro.
No tactics, just
Yeah,
vibes.
Spurs
That's
were
our
top.
mentality.
Spurs were top of the table, and you might place over them now.
Dude,
Like,
Spurs, like, I swear to
trust
God,
the
every
process.
season after 3 games at like top of the table, then their fans are like, oh yeah, finally we're good, and then they all come
Well, I
crashing.
think we can both agree both teams are terrible, and they'll be facing off this weekend. A number of exciting fixtures to watch, and yeah, definitely know I'm going to be tuning in for some of them. But I think that's a good note to leave this episode off of.
No. One last thing to talk about. I think we're all gonna disagree here, but there is a review to bring back drinking in stands,
No,
and obviously this is a stupid idea. It'll just bring back not bring back, but emphasize the amount of racism in
Yes,
football.
as a 16-year-old, I feel very strongly about drinking alcohol.
But
Uh,
assuming Gabriel, please be quiet while I'm trying to introduce our next topic. Assuming they're in a idealistic world and people weren't racist or homophobic or all that, do we think that drinking should be allowed? Considering there are also kids in the stands, or
Yeah.
should there be like an
yeah,
adult only
yeah,
section?
no.
Look, drinking. Isn't
I
drinking
think it
allowed?
should be fine.
Drinking is allowed. I think literally.
no, Karan,
There,
no,
I
but
think there
not-
are some
not in the
stands where you're
UK.
not allowed to.
Dude, correct. I'm pretty sure drinking is allowed in England for cricket, if I'm not.
Oh, look,
Yeah,
I don't think
It's just
drinking
a
should be
drop
allowed.
podcast, my guy.
not in
The
football.
football
Karan.
fans are terrible, beating like
Dude,
beating.
English football fans are the best and the worst in the world.
No, they're just the
They're,
worst.
they're the most passionate, but then they're
Abuse
just so,
abuse their
so
own
annoying.
players, beat up
Right,
their own
right.
fans, beat
I don't
up
think-
visiting fans, commit hate crimes. Like, I'm gonna be honest, English fans
Like,
definitely.
It's not an INS class, please. Can you be
Yeah, we
quiet?
should stop talking about England fans because Nikhil's here.
No, Sparsh, the most passionate fans are Germany fans. You haven't seen Dortmund Stadium, bro.
Argentinian
Yeah.
fans, bro. Argentinian fans.
I mean, have you looked? See, Anfield on Champions League nights is also something.
Yeah, bro. Half your fans don't even know who Salah was.
What?
What?
I mean, I think we can just like all agree drinking
Bad idea.
drinking plus like 50-year-old like
Yeah.
men probably not a great idea.
I mean, have you seen how England fans are already without drinking, bro? Imagine them with drinking.
I mean, to be fair, Germany were so passionate they started a world war so that they can win all the World Cups.
That's true passion.
Yeah.
They also talk about what was it like standing, right, for the stands.
Yeah, they want to bring back standing, so they're trialing.
Yeah, I think that with drinking is a horrible combination.
Yeah, because
I feel like standing's okay.
no, they
because
banned
it's,
it
like
for a
another
reason.
way that the fans can show support to like the players and stuff, like standing ovations and things like that. It's really motivational for the players, if you know what I mean.
No,
Nothing
not like
Wait,
you're
wait,
allowed
wait. Are we
standing
talking about
ovations.
standing with alcohol or just standing in general?
Standing with alcohol is a bad idea, but standing in general is a good
No,
idea.
Nikhail, they're not talking about like, you can stand in your at the end of a game, but you can't like there are like specific areas where you only stand and don't sit at all.
Aren't those already implemented?
They're trying to implement those.
Yeah,
You
but-
guys don't have that in Argentinian football. We have that.
No,
We
sorry,
have
you,
this
Ahead of-
big-
ahead of the
no,
curve.
Thomas,
This
Thomas,
big
Thomas.
stand in the La Bombonera called the 12th player, where literally you just stand the whole time and you don't stand. You gotta dedicate your legs. You know,
Thomas,
like
listen.
you gotta be up and jumping.
Thomas, listen.
No,
It
it's-
used to
I
be in
think
English
it's-
football, but then like after the
everywhere.
Hillsborough disaster, it kind of they kind of banned it.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I think just leave it how it is. There's no need to make changes, especially with the alcohol. You're just going to introduce a whole boatload of problems. Football's already toxic enough as it is. I definitely disagree with this one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
imagine the
especially
Euro
with-
2020 final with the with alcohol.
Especially with younger fans as well. Like if you have a bunch of hooligans next to them, that's a safety issue.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
Yeah, like the
Well, I
golden
mean-
child of Formula One, Lando got mobbed by like perfectly fine people. So
Sparsh, I hate to break it to you, but nobody gives a shit about
Wrong
Lando Norris.
podcast, my guy. Come on.
But
Nothing said Gabriel
if you
that-
are interested in F1, we do provide another podcast.
No, we
on that.
don't.
No, we don't.
No, we don't.
As
bro.
we said, ladies and gentlemen, we are thank you so much for tuning in, guys. We'll see you on the next podcast.
We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
sayonara, adios, mis amigos.
For real, just ban
Gabriel, what was-